These are challenger e-commerce brands, direct to consumer ad travel brands, who they are growing businesses, and now instead of just being on paid search with Google and paid social with Meta, they now can be on the big screen, on television, on across every streaming network, and do it with precision to make money. And so Mountain enables that with our software platform, and we are partnered with virtually every streaming network in America. We're partnered with all of the TV manufacturers in order to make this possible, and customers have responded.
What does a typical digital ad cost?
Well, it's more in terms of what are the average budgets, right? So think of it that way. So your business, and our minimum spend on our platform is $500 a month. We have companies spending millions a month. The way they think of this is, what's the return on ad spend? What kind of revenue am I getting in comparison to what I'm spending on the media? And the return on ad spend that most businesses are looking for is in the 2-to-1 to 3-to-1 range, meaning you spend $1, you make $2, $3. You'd play that game all day. And they're used to doing this on Instagram. You're basically using Meta Ad Platform and doing it with Google's ad platform. So it's Google AdWords. Everyone's probably heard of AdWords, even if you haven't used it. Meta Ad Platform, now Mountain Performance TV. And that's the opportunity we've enabled. And it's a very big market opportunity. So the companies consistently grow.
By the way, the other thing they do is,
wait. So what's the return on? Is it 2 for 1, or what is it?
Well, it depends on the customer. Those are kind of average. Stat is more in the 3-to-1 range. But if you have great product market fit, meaning like people see that probably like, I have to own this.
Yeah.
You're going to have a higher return than a company that just released the product and is still figuring out, like, what their target consumers want to buy. So it varies by customer.
Right.
But I say that's usually the range. 2-to-1 to 3-to-1 is what most companies are looking for. And that's to fit the economics of the business. The key thing here is 97% of Mountain's customers have never advertised on TV before. So we are literally enlarging the market, bringing new companies into the television advertising market for the first time on streaming.
And your take on that is what, a percentage of the return on that, or what is your piece of that?
Right. So a portion of their budget goes to pay for all of the technology we power in order to make that possible. And that's very typical. If you think of a company, we don't compete with Trade Desk. They're in a completely different segment of market, but it's the same revenue model as someone like Trade Desk.
So I think the coolest thing.
Thank you, by the way.
No, of course.
I just want to finish the thought.
One of the coolest things that you guys do is you say that these people have never made ads before, a lot of them, when they come to you.
For TV.
And so when I think of making an ad for TV, I think, I got to get, cameraman, director, editor, etc., and so forth. But you have AI tools that help them reduce that budget, I imagine, drastically, and you can tell me some numbers around that. And B, you have Ryan Reynolds as your chief creative officer.
Right.
So, and you see the ads that he makes.
I know.
They're just brilliant. So,
by the way, they don't have directors, and I mean, they get produced in what seems like an impossibly short period of time. That's because your first thought is usually your best, and increasingly, you can